Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar and welcome to my channel Product Review. We've been doing a lot of videos on Tornado and this is the last part of that series, that is part 9, in which we talk about the Tornado Sync. Now what Tornado Sync basically does is that there is one computer which we call as computer 1, in which we have a Tornado server running. And there is another computer which is computer 2, which may or may not have a Tornado server running with a different name in case it is running. Now what happens is there is a particular folder that you create in your first computer, computer 1, and then you have another folder created in computer 2 and they will sync with each other. So whatever changes you make in the computer 1's folder, all of that will get synced up to 2. Whatever changes you make in computer 2 will get backed up in computer 1. So it's a two-way process of sync. And this is a very important and a very effective method of syncing two folders between two computers. Otherwise, if you want to transfer one content from one to the other, then the only way is that you have Tornado server running in one computer. In the other computer, you download a particular file, which means you have to log into that and then download that file, or you have to upload the file. Whereas here we're talking about automatic sync. Whatever changes you make here will get changed there, whatever changes you make there will get changed here. Now to do this, what we basically need is we need Tornado server running in computer 1 and another application in computer 2 called Tornado Sync Client. Now the second computer may or may not run a Tornado. In case it does, obviously it will run with a different name, but the first computer must run the Tornado server. So this is my laptop, my Windows laptop, and as you can see, the Tornado is up and running. This is the sun icon of Tornado. So it's up and running, and this is the Guru1 ID that we had created in the beginning of the video. So this is running, and in my other computer, which is going to be Mac, I'm going to be downloading a software which I'll show you in just a moment. Now what I've done is I've created a folder in my computer. Let me see. This is my test folder, and in my test folder, this is the folder that I'm going to sync. I've got 4 images. I kept only 4 because I wanted the sync to be fast so that you'll be able to notice everything. So there is image 1, there is image 5, there is image 6 and image 7. So 1, 5, 6, 7, that is the order in which the images are present. So I'm going to sync this folder with an empty folder in my Mac running the Tornado Sync client, and you'll be able to see all these 4 images automatically synced up there. And there are a lot of different types of sync options available. So now let's head over to the Mac. So this is the Mac, and the first thing that we need to do is to create a folder, and I've already created a folder called test, and it also has those 4 images. Let me delete those. Yeah, now it's empty. Now of course the name of this folder and the name of that folder need not be same. This is just a coincidence that there I made a folder called test, and here also I'm making it test, so it is easy for me to understand which one to sync with which one. But otherwise you can have different names, there is no problem there. So remember, this test is empty. Let's head over to the PC, and this test has 4 images. So this is going to sync with that. Let's go back to the Mac. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install an application called Tornado Sync Client. So as usual, we head over to the Google and type Tornado. Let's type everything. Tornado Sync download. It automatically tells me that. Otherwise you need to type Tornado Sync. Download is not required. And let's head over to the main Tornado server, the website, and it gives me an option of downloading the server. I am not interested in downloading the server. This is what we generally do in order to run a Tornado server. We don't want to run a Tornado server, we need Sync Client. Install on other computers to sync and backup files to the Tornado server. So let's do this. Let's click this. Gives me option for Windows, Mac and Linux. We go for the stable release of Mac and it gets downloaded. It's downloading and the downloading is pretty decent. So I don't think I need to fast forward this video to end the download. It's happening quite fast. So we're going to wait for it to download completely and then we are going to install it and yeah, there it's done. So I'll double click this folder. I'm going to double click. It's a DMG folder. This is the parallel of exe in PC and it says pull up this to the applications and it's a small software, so it installs pretty fast. And I go to the Launchpad. This is where the programs are there in Mac and there is a software called Tornado Sync 2. So I click this and it says it's an application downloaded from internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Now sometimes it's going to say this and you say open, that's absolutely fine. But sometimes it's not going to say it. That's because, let me just head over to system preferences. And here if you look at security and privacy, just look at this. Allow apps downloaded from App Store, add identify developers. Generally you will not find this anywhere. You will have to get this and I'll make a separate video on how to get this anywhere thing. Once you get that, then this will automatically get checked. So automatically anything that you download from the web for the Mac will get installed, downloaded and installed. Otherwise what it would do, if this is not there, then sometimes it will say, are you sure you want to do it? Or sometimes it will say the file is damaged or the file is corrupted and therefore it cannot install. So you need to get this anywhere thing. I'll make a separate video on that. So anyway, right now it says, do you want to open it? I'm saying yes, open it. So it's going to install. It has already installed. Where is it installed? Look at the top one. There is an icon here and it install. I click this and it gives me a lot of options. I'm going to go for more options and I'm going to go for account settings. Now generally if you're doing it for the first time, it will automatically ask you for the account settings. Since I've already done this many times to test, so it's not asking me that, but you need to do this. You will get this as the first page. Now remember, I've already configured everything here because I had previously done that. So that's why it's coming up here. Otherwise you have to write the name of the server. It's guru1.tornadoid.com and the account name is guru1. That's our main account name and the password I've already put. So, but you would need to fill up all of this because if you're going to install it for the first time, it's going to ask you all of this, fill this up, and this is the same for Windows and Mac. There's no difference there. Then you say login. Remember, my Tornado server is already running. There were some folders here. Let me remove all these folders. What you are going to find will actually look like this. It will be empty. So now what you need to do is add folder. Click add folder. Now it's giving you a lot of options. It says remote folder. Remember, remote computer is the computer in which the Tornado server is running, computer number 1. And local folder is this particular computer, Mac. And this is the local folder and that's pretty logical from the name itself. So you have to select which remote folder you want to sync. And you have to select which folder to in the local folder do you want it to sync. So first let's select the remote folder. Remember I had created the folder test in desktop. So this is these are the things available in my PC, in my laptop. I hit desktop and this is my test 1. So I'm going to run test 1 here, select test 1. And then it will still say something, user, Mac, Tornado thing. Don't bother about this, just click select again for the local folder. And now select the folder to which you want it to sync. And you say test. And you open this one. So basically I am changing, I'm trying to create 2 test folders, one here and one there. And remember, as in the beginning, the names need not be same. It is just for my ease that I've kept the same name. You can also do that. Now once you've selected the remote folder and local folder, it asks you for a schedule. Now you can do a manual sync or you can do a sync every 30 minutes, which means every 30 minutes it will come and check for changes and sync everything. And remember, every 30 minutes doesn't mean that it will run only for 30 minutes. What it means is that in 30 minutes, at the end of 30 minutes, it will start syncing and it will complete sync. And after the end of 30 minutes, again it will come and check. If you take 1 hour, then it will sync at a particular time. And then after 1 hour, it will recheck if there are any changes. So these are the schedules. But it will try and sync as many folders as it can. But of course, if the number of files are exceeding the 30-minute duration, then it will run for 30 minutes and again check and again. So it will keep on doing it till all the folders have come in, all the files have come in. And once all the files come in, every 30 minutes it will keep rechecking and to see if there are any changes. So I'm going to keep it at manual for the time being. And then it says mode. Now it will give you 3 options: sync, backup local to remote, local copy remote to local. Now what sync does, the first option, is that changes made in computer 1 will come to 2, changes made in computer 2 will go to 1. And we'll also check if there are any conflicts ever happening. Now, because that's why I've chosen a manual sync. Now, backup local to remote, the second option. This says that whatever changes I make in my Mac, my local, they will get synced to remote, but if I make any change in remote, it will not come here. If I select remote to local, local copy remote to local, it is the reverse of that. Whatever changes I make in computer 1 will come to 2, whatever changes I make in 2 will not go to 1. Sync does it both ways. So first let's take the sync option. And then now you've selected remote folder, you've selected local folder, you've selected schedule, you've selected the mode. Now say add folder. Now let me keep the folder open right now, the test folder, so that you can see how fast the images are coming up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say run now. So it starts syncing and immediately you see the test folder is getting some images. And since I've kept only 4 images, it should not take that much time to come. The first is come, the second is coming. Remember the numbers 1, 5, 6, 7. 1 has come, 5 is coming. It'll take a while for the 4 to come, but it'll come pretty fast because there are only 4 of them. The heavier the files and more are the files, it'll take that much amount of time to sync. And remember, this sync happens through the internet. So you need internet connectivity in both. 6 is come, 7 is coming, and that should pretty soon end. And so both need internet connection, and it will only happen when both are internetly connected. Of course, they need not be in the same network. They can be in different networks. One computer can be at your home, and one can be in your office. And as you can see, all the 4 have come here. So that's pretty interesting. All the 4 have come here. And these are the 4 that were there in the test. So syncing has happened. Now let's add something to this folder, the local folder, and see whether it shows up in the PC. So now what I do is, let me see if I can find maybe some music, some MP3 file. Okay, background MP3. So I select this, I copy this, and I go back to my desktop, and in my desktop, let me not look at the finder, let me go directly to the test folder, and now let me paste this. And remember, it's a manual sync, it's not going to happen automatically, it's a manual sync. So every time you make a change, you have to run it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it and check it in my PC. So I'm running it now and I'm checking in my PC. And there immediately you got this background MP3. So whatever changes I make here, these changes go to the first computer. Whatever was there in the first computer is coming here. So it's a very beautiful way of syncing 2 folders between 2 computers without any NAS kind of a device attached. And in fact, I use this particular feature of Tonido as a NAS storage. Now what I basically do is, NAS storages are basically hard drives connected to your router, and all your computers can access that. Now what I do is, all my video editing I do in my PC, and I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive, USB connected to my PC, to my laptop, and I dump all my raw folders there, all my raw files there, project files there, and completed files there. But I also want a backup. I don't want to have only that 2 terabyte having everything, because remember, we need redundancy. So what I do is, I have another computer at my home at a different location in a different room, and I have a 8 terabyte hard drive connected to it. Now what I do is, since we are on the same network, so what I do is, I can access all the drives of that computer through this computer. So what I do is, I keep the local folder as the 2 terabyte hard drive of my PC. I run my Tornado server in my PC. PC is my, this is the computer 1 in which I run the server. So the 2 terabyte becomes the local folder, and in the other one I run the sync client, and there the local folder, this is the remote folder now, the local folder in my other computer becomes the 8 terabyte hard drive. So whatever dump things I do in my 2 terabyte hard drive, all of them get synced to that 8 terabyte. So I don't have to bother about copying and pasting, because the one way of backing up things in a USB hard drive is that you have to copy and paste every time, and sometimes you might forget what changes you've made. In this way, the particular folder that I have in 2 terabyte and a particular folder in that 8 terabyte, they get synced through Tornado. Of course, they will take some time because the project files are heavy, the rendered files are heavy, but ultimately they get done automatically. So I don't really have to bother about which has sunk and which is syncing and which I need to copy. They do it automatically. So now what I'm going to do, so now we have tested back and forth. Whatever was in the remote computer 1 got into local computer 2, and whatever changes I made in local computer 2 went to the remote computer 1. So that was test number 1. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try the other options. So I'm going to create another folder here, new folder. This is in my Mac. I call it test. I'm going to call it test 1. This is a new folder I've created. Let's come back to my laptop now, PC, and let me create test 1 here. Again, the name need not be same, and this of course is empty, and that was also empty. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pick up one of the images from my test folder, image 1, and I'm going to drop it to, no, I'm not going to drop it, let me copy it, otherwise it will move it. Let me copy this here and let me paste it here. So my test 1 has one image, test 1 of my PC is empty. Now I'm going to add this folder. Again, it's asking me which remote folder do I want to sync into, and in the desktop I'm going to select test 1, test 1, select. It's asking me which is the local folder, which is also test 1, open. And now I'm not going to do sync. Now I'm going to do local to remote, and I want to see whether it's working or not, because remember, sometimes these softwares have a lot of bugs. Now sync is working perfectly. Local to remote means that whatever changes I make in my local, that is computer 2, should go to my server computer 1 remote. Let's try this up. And now add folder. So let me select test 1 folder, and then I say run now, and let me check my PC, test 1, nothing has come up. I'm running it in this and it's not coming up. So which means there is a bug in this. So local to remote is not working. And I checked up the Tornado support forums, and I found out that there are a lot of people facing the same issue, and ultimately the Tornado people accepted that there is a bug. They also did the test, there is a bug, and the latest post was March 2017, and that so far the problem has not been fixed and they're trying to fix it. Therefore, please understand, the fact that I can back up only from local to remote and not from remote to local is not going to work. And since this is not working, there's no point in putting anything in test 1 here, because it's anyway not going to go there. That was supposed to come here, that has not come, so I don't really expect anything from here to go there. So I'm going to leave it empty now. Let's move ahead to Mac again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do test 2, new folder, test 2, and let's move to PC, computer 1, and create test 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one image in test 2, and let me first put it here. Let me select one image from test. Let's again select the first image, or maybe let's select the MP3, and let me put it in test 2 folder. Remember, this is empty. Now let's head over to the Mac. Test 2, remember, is empty. And now I'm going to add this folder, and the remote folder is test 2, present in desktop, test 2, select the local folder, select test 2. Remember, my computer 1 has an image and this one is empty. Now what I do, I look for the third option, remote to local. This says that whatever changes I make in remote in my server computer 1 should come here, not the other way around. So let me select this, and I'm still keeping it manual, add folder. Now let me go to test 2 and say run and see if that image shows up here. I want to check whether there is any bug here. See, it comes up. And so this has come here, the background MP3, and somehow it's showing an extension called part. I'm not too sure. Maybe I think the syncing is not complete. Run now again. But anyway, it shows up here. The idea is that whatever changes I made there is coming here. So remote to local is working, sync is working, but local to remote has a bug. So that is something which you need to understand. Most of the cases, it is the sync which should be selected because you really want them to work properly. And so you want both to have a complete change of each other. Whatever changes you make there should come here. So if you're working in a common project, then you can have this sync working very well with you. And remember, this can be done in more than 2 computers. So I can have computer 3, which runs the sync client, also having the remote folder as the same one in the computer 1, and create one more folder in your computer 3, and then whatever changes you make in the server folder will come to 3. Whatever changes you make in computer 2 will go to computer 1 and then will come to computer 3, because you have selected computer 1 as the remote. So first changes will come from 2 to 1 and then 1 to 3. So it all depends upon which one you select as your remote and which one you select as the other one. But remember, if you select computer 2 as the remote, then computer 2 must also be running Tornado. And obviously it will run Tornado with a different name. You can't run the same Tornado servers on 2 different machines. So your account settings also should be different. So it's better to have one computer's account settings in all computers, and make changes in all computers. They will all come to one, and from one they'll get transferred to the others. Of course, it will take a little bit of time, but that's absolutely fine. So we have seen all the three options of sync settings. So sync settings is one of the most beautiful way of syncing files between several computers at once. The requirement, all of them must be connected to the internet. And as long as the sync is taking place, they must all be running. They must all be connected to the internet. They can be in different locations. So 4 people are working in a project. The first person makes a project. The second person makes change number 1. The third person makes change number 2. And then perhaps one can finalize it. But if you want both folders to exist, then you have to name it differently. For example, if the name of the first file in computer 1 is, let's say, number 1, then when the second person makes a change in that but wants to retain 1 as well as the change, then he has to rename that folder, that particular file, as, let's say, 2. So that 2 will get backed up with computer 1. So we know that the first guy made 1 file, second guy made 2 file, third guy made 3rd file. So you have to rename it in case you want to have the old ones also existing. So this is how Tornado Sync client works across computers. So that was a free personal cloud service called Tornado. Now, if you opt for a public cloud service like Box, Dropbox, Microsoft's OneDrive, Google Drive, or perhaps Apple's iCloud service, you'll be given a few GB of data for free. And once that gets filled up and you want to upgrade your storage, they're going to ask you for money. And let's say you upgrade it to 50 GB and put 50 GB of data in it. Now you have to pay a monthly rental to just keep that 50 GB of data with you. If you fail to pay the rental, all those files will get deleted. And as it is, it's not safe because it's somewhere else. It's with someone else's control. So if at all you use a public cloud service, use the free part and put some not very sensitive information in that. Put some pictures perhaps, put some music, or maybe a couple of documents. But do not try to go to upgrade that storage because it's of no use. You will be paying a lot of money just to keep up the storage and not talk about extending the storage. And these are the days when we create contents in terabytes. We need terabytes of storage. A few gigabytes is definitely not going to help. The alternative to that is NAS, Network Attached Storage. They come in large numbers in terms of terabytes. And you can hook them up to your router. It will work both as a storage solution and a cloud service. But NAS, the cost of NAS is primarily not for its cloud service, but more for a storage space. If you want a decent amount of storage space, let's say you want 16 terabytes. Now 16 terabytes of storage space, if you need, with redundancy built in, it costs you somewhere around 65,000 Indian currency, which is approximately $1,000 US. So even that doesn't come cheap. It's pretty expensive. But again, it's a one-time cost. And it backs up your data and gives you a large amount of storage space. So which will take years to get filled up. So therefore, Tornado comes in as a third option, which is completely free of cost, turns your computer into a cloud service. Just install Tornado in it and you can access your computer, all the hard drives hooked up to it, all the folders in it in the cloud. You can access them through your phone or tablet, you can access them through the computer. So this entire 9-part series of Tornado that I built up was primarily to give you various aspects of Tornado. And in the interest of disclaimer, let me also point out that I'm not being paid by Tornado to do these videos. I'm doing it on my own because I've used this service and I found it extremely effective, and I want you to use it, and I'm sure you will also find it very, very effective. In the first part, we did introduction, and then we did how to install the Tornado server in a computer. In part 2, we talked about how to access your Tornado computer, Tornado server through a computer. In part 3, we talked about how to access Tornado server through a smartphone. In part 4, we talked about how to create guest profiles and create shared files. In part 5, we talked about how to access these guest profiles and shared files using a computer and a mobile phone. In part 6, we talked about how to create multiple instances of Tornado, multiple servers of Tornado running in one computer. And in part 7, we talked about how to access these using another computer or a smartphone. In part 8, we talked about recovering your lost account in case for some reason you have to uninstall Tornado from your computer. And in part 9, that is this part, we talked about Tornado Sync. And what I do is I use Tornado Sync and Tornado Server to mimic what happens in the case of a NAS drive. As mentioned earlier in my screencast, what I do is I've got a laptop in another room attached to an 8 terabyte hard drive. And I work in another laptop which is more powerful, and I hook up a 2 terabyte hard drive to it, external hard drive through USB, because it's easier to move it around. The 8 terabyte one is a huge one. So what I do is I keep all my raw files in the 2 terabyte hard drive. I put all my project files into it and all my rendered files into it. And then what I do is I run my Tornado server in this particular laptop, which is connected to the 2 terabyte hard drive. And in the other one, which contains the 8 terabyte hard drive external, I run the Tornado Sync client. So in that, the local folder becomes the 8 terabyte and the remote folder becomes the 2 terabyte. So I keep working in the 2 terabyte external hard drive, and then it automatically gets backed up to the 8 terabyte one. So I have a backup. And the advantage of the 8 terabyte hard drive that I have is it also has 2 USB ports. It's a Seagate one. And then I hook up 2 more hard drives to those USB ones, and then I can take a backup of a backup to create more and more redundancy. So using Tornado Sync, you can to an extent mimic what probably NAS does. And again, for that you need external hard drives, but their cost is much lower than what you would pay for NAS. So I hope this series of videos helped you in understanding how Tornado works, and I'm sure you're going to use it because it's a service not very many people use or know about. And I'm sure you're going to use it now and you're going to find it effective. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, because it is your subscription which motivates me and encourages me to make more and more videos like this. If you have any questions, queries, doubts, anything that you want to comment on, please drop them in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do hit the like button. This is Kalyan Kumar signing off. Have a great day and thank you for watching.